I'd like to talk today about the stress that comes with planning a wedding, being a bride, worrying about fitting into a dress, how you're going to look in pictures, dealing with all of the preparations that go into that big day of your life, and still being able to hold it all together because you have an eating disorder. And this is a topic that was brought to my attention by a viewer. And it's a really, really great topic because I honestly never thought of doing a video about it before, but it definitely deserves a video because I think there are a lot of brides out there who really would love to get a little bit of advice or at least feel that they're not alone in what they're dealing with while they're planning their weddings. And I planned a wedding, so I know what it's like to plan a wedding, and I would just love to talk about this. First thing I want to say is you have to buy a dress to fit your body, not make your body fit the dress. So by that I mean don't buy a dress that's a size or two sizes smaller than what you are in order to force yourself to be able to fit into it by your wedding day. That's not the way to do this, because if you don't, you're going to feel like you've failed when really you set yourself up for failure in the beginning. It makes you feel like a bad person. It makes you feel like you have a deadline. It makes you feel like you won't look beautiful unless you've gotten to a certain size. It takes a lot of joy out of something that should be one of the happiest days of your life. And I really can't emphasize this enough. You want to find a dress that makes you feel beautiful, a dress that you like, a dress that you're not wearing to please anyone but you, but a dress that you are buying to fit the body that you have. Now, if you're going to exercise and stay healthy and be fit in order to look good on your wedding day, fine, but don't purposely buy a dress that's smaller in order to get yourself to fit into it. Wedding planning is stressful enough, let alone if you have an eating disorder or you are in recovery from an eating disorder. And you need all the support you can get every day, but you need all the support you can get when you're planning your wedding and you have an eating disorder. Anyone that you can get in your court, you need to snag them right now. You need to tell them, this is going to be a trying year for me, and this is why. And I really need your help so that I don't lose track of what I'm really doing, so that I don't get off the good path. And these can be people that are already fully aware of your eating disorder, but just sort of letting them know, this is going to be kind of stressful for me, and I'm going to need your support, and I'm going to need your help. And that way they're going to be more careful not to say the wrong thing. They're going to be more willing to say the right thing. They're going to be more aware of what's going on with you, and making people more aware is always a step in the right direction. Anything you can do to make your life easier, you have to do. Anything that's going to take some pressure off of you, you should do. If that means investing in other people to help you, if that means talking about certain things more with your significant other or with your bridesmaids or with your mother or whoever it might be, you need to do it because you don't want to have the planning spiral and spiral downwards until by the time the month of your wedding is approaching, you're just dreading the day so much. It's really a big letdown to plan something and put so much effort and time into it only to see it not turn out the way that you want it to turn out. And I have a personal theory that wedding days are magical days because I have been in a number of weddings besides just being a bride of my own wedding. And no matter how many little things don't work out the way they're supposed to and how many little things go wrong on your wedding day, nothing that you are fearing in your head right now is going to go wrong on your wedding day. Something just magically works out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a higher power. I don't know if it's the fact that we build up the dread so much in our heads that the actual fear becomes scarier than the likelihood of the event actually happening. But just for a small example, when I am either really nervous or really excited, I get red blotches on my chest right here and they go up my neck. And I just have a very, very fair complexion, so I blush really easily and I get these blotches on my neck. So I was so worried that on my wedding day, when I am very nervous and going to be the center of attention and all eyes will be on me and a million and one things will be happening, that in all my wedding pictures, I was going to have red blotches all over my chest and neck. And I was worried about this, and I thought for sure it was going to happen because it's happened to me so many times in my life when I'm just doing things that aren't anywhere near as big as my wedding day. So, lo and behold, on my wedding day, it didn't happen. I didn't have a single blotch on my chest or neck. My pictures turned out beautifully. Nothing happened with, my complexion sort of turning against me. And I know it's a silly little thing, but that was something that I was worried about. And logically, it should have happened because it happens all the time and it's just my body's natural response, but it didn't happen to me on my wedding day. And I think sometimes we just blow things out of proportion. And in looking back, I think now that had it happened and had I had blotches in some of my pictures, well, it would have been kind of annoying, but it wouldn't have been the end of the world. The other really big thing to keep in mind is that it's about the marriage. It's not about the wedding. And I know that we all want to make our wedding be a beautiful, happy, important day, and it should be. And it's a special time for you to gather everyone together and do something just the way you want to do it to show your love for another person. But that's what it's really about. It's really about showing your love for that other person. So try to keep in your head through all of the preparations when things get especially stressful or something's not working out the way you want it to, that it's about the marriage. It's about the end result and the outcome. It's not really about the wedding. The rest of your life from this point on isn't going to be about the wedding. The wedding's going to be over. It's about the marriage. It's about being united with the person that you're worrying about this wedding with. And I know it sounds really easy, but it's important to keep that in perspective because it's really easy to lose that perspective when so many things are going on. I don't want this video to be about tips and suggestions for planning a wedding because I'm not a wedding planner and I planned my own wedding and it went off fine, but I don't want to sort of give you suggestions on how to do things where the actual wedding is concerned. I more want to give you advice and suggestions on how to handle your own emotions and your stress levels and your mental health during this time. I also think it's really important to take a day every now and then to do something nice for yourself. And it is important to time manage and do things that revolve around your wedding, especially when it's getting close to that day. But if you can take a friend or you can take your mom and you can go somewhere for the day to just sit or get your nails done or go to a movie or do something that doesn't revolve around the wedding, it can really improve your sense of self and your well-being, and it's really going to make you more interested in continuing planning the wedding later. If you're just planning 24/7, it takes a lot of the fun out of it and a lot of joy out of the event. If body image wreaks havoc in your mind pretty much most days, it's not going to be a surprise if you're having body image issues in relation to your wedding day. It's understandable, it's natural, it's normal. I think a lot of brides out there who don't have any history of an eating disorder are very concerned with the way that they look on their wedding day. So it's not an indication that you are a bad person or that you are struggling terribly. It's just an indication that you need to remember what's really important here. You're going to look beautiful. All brides look beautiful. I've never seen an ugly bride in my entire life. And your significant other is marrying you for a reason, and it's not because you could fit into a size whatever wedding dress. That's not the reason. If this person wanted to marry you at whatever weight you were when you got engaged, they're going to want to marry you at whatever weight you are when you're getting married. You don't have to become smaller. You don't have to get so hung up on the way that you look. I think a lot of people really enjoy seeing their significant other in sweatpants or a pair of jeans or sitting in their pajamas. It's not something that you're doing to impress this other person. So if the real person you're trying to impress or you're trying to be perfect for is you, then you need to take a step back and ask yourself why. Why is it that you feel like you have to be absolutely 100% perfect on your wedding day? And what does perfect mean to you? And why does it mean that? If perfect means being a certain size, why? And would you think that way of a friend who is getting married? And if you wouldn't, you need to sort of turn that thinking around onto yourself. A lot of times there's not really specific tips and suggestions that go into this cleansing of your mental health during wedding planning. It's just a matter of reiterating things to yourself and keeping things in perspective and understanding that pretty soon it'll all be over and you'll be just as happy as before you started all the planning. The other really important thing is that everyone who's going to be with you on your wedding day, whether it's just you and your significant other on a beach somewhere or in front of a justice of the peace in a courtroom, whether it's just your close family members, your parents, your brother, your sister, your child, or whether it's 100 or 200 people that are close friends and colleagues and relatives, they're all there because they care about you. And they're there because they think you're great and they want to see you celebrate your happiness with someone else. They're not there to see if you could fit into a different size. They're not there to see if you were able to have the willpower to diet for a certain amount of months before your wedding day. They're there to see you happy. It's just a matter of letting go. Just sitting there and telling yourself, I have to make my peace with this. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. And if I don't want to be this right now, maybe I can learn to accept myself the way I am because I am great and I am beautiful and I will be a beautiful bride. And I think a lot of the time, you need to keep reminding yourself, it's my family and my friends who are going to be there, and they love me the way I am, so who am I trying to impress? And again, if the person you're trying to impress is you need to sit with that and you need to ask yourself why. Your wedding day is about celebrating love and about celebrating you. It's your day and you'll never get another day like it. So why would you want to spend that day trying to be something that you're not? You have to embrace who you are, and it's really the only way that you're going to enjoy the day. And right now it might seem like unless you're a certain size or unless this goes right or this goes right or this goes right, you won't be happy and enjoy your day. But if you make your day about the right things, you really will enjoy it. If you're getting caught up in trying to be like everyone else as far as other weddings that you've seen or ideas that people are telling you are the way to go, or basically just trying to live up to all the hype of a perfect wedding day, maybe it's time to sort of redo the whole traditional wedding and remember to be true to yourself and do what you really want and do the things that you as a couple really would enjoy and really would want for your special day. Don't compare yourself to other people, to other brides. Really think about what you want, and once you think about what you want, do everything you can to achieve it. A nice way to feel good about yourself and remember what's really important is to do something a bit unique, and instead of having favors for your wedding guests, donate to a charity or organization of your choice. You can just put a little place card at everyone's seat saying, in lieu of a favor, we have donated to whatever the organization is. It's just a really nice gesture. I think a lot of the time favors are very sweet and very kind, and they're a thank you of sorts, but most of the time wedding guests throw them away or they sit around and collect dusts. They never really get used for anything unless there's something extremely useful, which typically they aren't if you're going for favors that are inexpensive. So it's just something to put a spin on your wedding and make it about something very positive. Whatever you would do on any day to battle body image issues or self-esteem issues or stress issues, those are the things that you want to do for your wedding day. You want to do them every day up to your wedding day, and you want to keep on doing them after your wedding's over. Beauty is not in the face. Beauty is a light in the heart. That's one of my favorite quotes, and thinking about what real beauty is, what true beauty is, and what that means to you and what it should mean to everyone else in your life is very important when we're talking about your wedding day and everything that goes along with it. You're beautiful just the way you are, and though you may have good days and bad days, your wedding day will be one of the good days as long as you keep that thought in your mind and tell yourself that it's going to be a great day. If you're happy, it will show. Remember what's important. Include as many positive things as you can. This means people that are positive. This means items that are positive. This means words that are positive. Anything that you can bring to the experience of planning your wedding and your wedding day itself that has something poignant, memorable, and special to you that doesn't have anything to do with appearances is going to make your day that much more prominent in your memory for years to come. It's not the dress you remember later on. It's the smiles and all the photographs. It's seeing people around you that are standing there with you. It's the look in your husband's or your wife's eyes. Delegate. If you have a support system for your eating disorder recovery, have a support system for wedding planning. Eating disorder recovery during wedding planning is stressful, and if you can get people to help you out with small tasks, do it. Enjoy yourself. This is a time that you'll never have again, and the more fun you can make it, the more special it's going to be in your memory later. It's one day, and you want to make it good, but the life that happens after the wedding day is really what's most important.